I'm Conor Gearty, and I've come to Derby in order to think through one of the most important parts of our Crowdsourcing the UK Constitution ideas, to talk with young mums about the importance of the idea of human security. At one level, it's about protecting yourself from harm, from violence. But at another, it's about trying to have a good life, a successful life, both for yourself and for your children.
We work with teenage parents from the beginnings of pregnancy right through until their child's 2 years old. Teenage parents actually get a lot of bad press, and the bad press that they get actually is a big issue for them. We prioritise young people who maybe have left the care system, who haven't had very much stability in their own life, who maybe haven't been parented particularly well themselves.
My mum kicked me out. I was living with my dad. We was arguing. Things wasn't stable. I would go out the house with my partner early in the mornings and wouldn't return till night. It was a struggle. My mum and dad was on benefits. Didn't get taken out very much. Not a very good upbringing, quite poor to be fair.
Our young people are pretty stigmatised. I mean, there's times we've even had to, help people get on buses because they were so stigmatised, shouted at because they had a child, because they were young. Our society sees young people with babies as bad.
Human security is about opportunities to succeed as persons. This idea that we need to have a chance to grow as people, so that we should have opportunities to succeed in our lives. And that requires a degree of security. Security in our living space, home. Security, lest we lose our job, that we don't starve. Security that in the event of our becoming ill, we should be looked after by the state. Health security. So the idea of security involves all of these and is absolutely focused on the individual, on the human. What kind of stuff concerns you about the kind of world you'd like to live in for the kids?
The biggest one is money. It's not here now, so when my kids are grown up, it doesn't look too bright. College, university, everything, because I want them to be, rocket scientists and doctors. So how are they going to do that?
It's getting there really, and money-wise, and how I'm going to get there, what I'm going to be doing for him to have a good future.
With how everything is at the minute, when people, when they go to university, they're not guaranteed to come back out into a job, I would like something to be there to help when people leave school, that help them get a job or go on to further education. I want him to think that, if he wants to do something, he can go and do it.
Please don't do it.
Do you think the taxpayers have a duty to make it easier for people to go to university, for people to get a job?
Society, I feel, has a duty to look after each other because, we're young now, so I suppose you could say we're the future, but they're the future. As young parents, we sort of get looked down on and people wash their hands of us from the beginning. If that's an issue now, what's it going to be like for our children when they're older? I think for all of us, all we want is a chance as young people to prove everybody wrong.
Do you think it'd be worth putting something in a Constitution is a written document that guarantees the way we are organised? Do you think we should put in that something like everybody has a right to work, everybody has a right to an education?
Everyone should be entitled to work, everyone should be entitled, to health care.
If you had to put one thing in as a guarantee, I could wave a magic wand and I could put something into a constitution which gave you something for your kids, what would it be?
I'd probably just say a good life. Yeah. To be able to have a job and to be able to do what they want to do in their life and to be given them opportunities.
What would you put in the constitution, Zoe, if you had my magic wand?
Housing and education, the right to housing and education. We all struggle with housing and education because we come against childcare issues. But if you have a house, that's your roots and you feel safe, and that's where you start, and then you go on to education, which is where you learn for whichever career you choose, which obviously your children see.
I agree, with Zoe, housing is you know, where you're going to start off from, and that's where, you know, your career or, you know, your choices are going to come from.
We can do the rest, we just need the groundwork, so to speak.
But does politics matter, do you think? Zoe wants to get in, I can tell.
Politics absolutely matters. It shocks me that young people don't vote. How are we ever going to change this country for our children if we don't even vote? This country's in a state. So it's our right to try and change that.